Could transfer quarterback Hauss Hejny save Mike Gundy's job at Oklahoma State? We'll talk about it right after this. If you like what we are doing here at Campus of Canton, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button so we can continue to spread the good word of college fantasy football all around the world. We have gotten to 4,000 subscribers. Thanks to you guys. Now we are trying to get to 5,000. And can we do that by the beginning of the college football season? I believe that you guys can help us get there. So again, thank you so much for the support. And make sure to turn on that bell icon so you don't miss a single one of the videos that we drop. All right, Hauss Hejny was a very intriguing quarterback throughout his time in Aledo, Texas. And Aledo is one of the higher-end schools here in Texas, played some very tough competition, led them into the playoffs multiple times, and was, for the most part, a 4-star throughout all of the services, I believe. And has a very interesting rankings in there as well. Listed at about 5'11", 185, which seems fair. Maybe he's a little bit shorter, but the 185 part does seem to be fairly accurate. On3 had him as their QB 21. 24/7 Sports had him as their QB 12, while ESPN had him as their QB 6, and Rivals had him as their QB 8. Very, very talented QB. We were high on him as well. I believe he fell in right in the bottom of tier, or the top of tier 3, maybe the bottom of tier 2 for us. So look, when it comes into looking at this guy as an athlete, he can do it all. We have him listed as a 6'4" athlete in our system, has a mile per hour of 21.7 miles per hour. That is in the 86th percentile, so very good for a quarterback. And he comes in with a 52 ball velo, which is on the lower end. It does not have the strongest arm. We'll talk about that here a little bit in a minute about the player I think that he is. But it is a dual threat athlete. And in the middle and short intermediate parts of the field, I think he throws the ball very well, very accurate, and has no problem getting that zip. But the further down the field he gets, that ball really loses some velocity. But he does have a tendency to throw some of these moonshots, which the comparison of Russell Wilson comes in, and I think that's an apt fit. He also gets a comparison of Malik Cunningham as well. Again, when you look at what he was able to do at Aledo High School in Texas, he was a 2-sport athlete. Not only did he run track, but he also played football as a 3-year varsity starter. He led Aledo to a 14-2 record in the Class 5A Division State Championship while also winning the MVP. He finished with 5,000 passing yards and a 50 to 18 touchdown interception ratio. Again, he only played for a couple years on the varsity squad, but added 2,462 rushing yards on 270 attempts and 29 rushing touchdowns. What is even more interesting is he was a legacy kid going to TCU. So imagine this, imagine Oklahoma State being able to get him away from TCU in the transfer portal. Both of his parents not only attended, but also played sports at TCU. So it was a very big get for TCU, or would have been an easy get for them to get right in the recruiting process. The fact that Oklahoma State was able to get him is incredible. As I mentioned, he is, though, a true dual threat quarterback. I think arguably is the most dangerous weapon and rusher on the offense when he's on the field. He's incredible short area burst, and when he gets into the open field, he easily makes defenders miss. He's a big play threat with his legs, but has shown that he has the ability to pass and buy time when given that. He can make plays, as I mentioned earlier, in the short and intermediate parts of the area, knows when to bail out of the pocket, does look downfield before looking to run, and can throw off platform and through multiple different arm angles. But as I said, he really lacks that strength to challenge deep throws, and he did struggle at times with his accuracy on the field. But why I love this for Oklahoma State is, let's just be honest here, folks. They don't have a lot in this quarterback room. It sounds like Bowman is going to come back. He got that extra year of eligibility. They have Garrett Rangel, who's played fine, Zane Flores. Hauss Hejny's better than all of them, and I would not be surprised if he does not come in here and immediately compete for a job in spring training and possibly win it in the fall. They're obviously losing some players on offense, right? Ollie Gordon's going to the NFL. Deshaun Stribling had a great year last year, is transferring out. Brennan Presley, he's gone to the NFL. But you know what? Rashad Owens was pretty good for them last year in spurts, and I think could step up and be the guy. They're bringing in a couple wide receivers in the portal. We'll see. I'm not going to hold my breath on them. Talon Chetron, though, is another player that we really liked. Seemed to kind of be really slow to get off the mark, but actually started to produce a little bit last year. So I think he will have weapons around him to help that. But again, it's the rushing upside. It's the explosive playmaking with his legs that makes Hauss Hejny so interesting from a fantasy perspective, and I do think from Oklahoma State's perspective as well. What is going to be the most interesting is what happens with Oklahoma State's future. I do think if Hauss Hejny is able to come in there and help turn this Oklahoma State program around immediately, Mike Gundy will keep his job and everything will be moving forward. But there's been a lot of stuff about the contract that they said either you sign or you're out the door. And what happens if they have another bad season? It sounds like some fans are kind of getting tired of Mike Gundy. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's arguably been, if not one of the most successful coaches in the Big 12. He's had the longevity. I mean, he's been there for a long time, but there's been a lot of questions about him and some of the stuff he's done. But I do think that Hauss Hejny could be a true program builder. Like Hauss Hejny could come in and flip this program around and you can build around him. Truly dynamic and fun quarterback. He could arguably be one of the most fun players to watch every single Saturday in 2025, especially if he gets that starting job. So, what do you guys think here, Oklahoma State fans? Do you think that you got yourselves a steal at the quarterback position, and can he turn your season around in 2025 after going just, I believe it was 3-9 last season? So not a great year. And the one thing I will also add, Spencer Sanders was not that much of a rusher. But if you go back through, I went back through about 8 years worth of Oklahoma State quarterbacks, and all of them have over 120 rushing attempts. If Hauss Hejny gets that or more, he's going to put up a buku amount of rushing yards. I think he's a strong fantasy asset as well next year. I'm telling you guys, Oklahoma State fans, you guys landed in a very fun and exciting quarterback. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and we will talk to you guys again soon.